Question 17. The table gives information about the distances in miles that some Year 10 students live from school. Part A, on the grid, draw a histogram for this information. Now you can already see on the axes here we need frequency density. There is no frequency density in this table, and so we need to find it. We need to know that frequency density is equal to the frequency divided by the class width. The class width being the width of these groups. So the first additional column I want on this table is class width. Between 0 and 1, we have a class width of 1. Between 1 and 1.5, 0.5. Again, 1.5 and 2, 0.5. 2 and 3, 1. And between 3 and 5, we have a class width of 2. The frequency density now is found by doing the frequency divided by this class width. And so my frequency density is 9 divided by 1, which is 90. 48 divided by a half, which is 96. 22 divided by a half, which is 44. 8 divided by 1 is 8, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now I have the frequency densities. I need to label up my axes. Now I need to go as high as 96 here. So if I go up in tens and get to 100, and I can start plotting this histogram. And so on histograms, we have between 0 and 1, a frequency density of 90. So between 0 and 1, I want a bar that goes up to 90. Between 1 and 1.5, it needs to go to 96. 1.5 and 2, it needs to go to 44. 2 and 3, it needs to go to 8. And 3 and 5, it needs to go to 6. And so this is my histogram for this information. The histogram below shows information about the distances in miles that some Year 11 students live from school. The number of Year 11 students who live between 1 and 2 miles from school is n. Part B, find an expression in terms of n for the number of Year 11 students who live between 3 and 5 miles from school. Well, on a histogram, the area of the bar represents the number of students. And so if I look at the area of this bar 1 to 2, it is 10 squares by 15. And so the area of 1 to 2 is 150 squares. 10 times 15 is 150 squares, which is equivalent to n students. Well, the area of the bar between 3 to 5 is 20 times 3, which is 60 squares. And so in terms of n, it is 60 lots of 150ths, and that on a calculator is 0.4 n.